Germany's forbidden World War II weapons, secrets buried for decades. When people look back at World War II, the story is often told through familiar images and well-documented battles, the thunder of Allied landings on D-Day, the devastation of strategic bombing campaigns, and the eventual collapse of Nazi Germany in 1945. Yet behind this widely known history exists a deeper and far more secretive narrative, one shaped by fear, desperation, and an obsession with technological supremacy. As the war dragged on and Germany found itself increasingly outmatched in manpower and resources, the Nazi leadership turned toward radical innovation, believing that a single breakthrough weapon might change the outcome of the conflict. According to historians who have studied wartime records and post-war intelligence reports, this mindset led to an extraordinary range of experimental weapons programs, many of which were classified, deliberately concealed, or later destroyed. These so-called forbidden weapons were not merely advanced for their time, they were often ethically troubling, strategically reckless, and in some cases terrifying glimpses of what modern warfare could become. Central to this effort was the regime's promotion of Wunderwaffen, or wonder weapons, a propaganda-driven concept meant to convince both German civilians and enemy nations that the Third Reich still held unstoppable power. While propaganda exaggerated their impact, there is no doubt that some of these technologies were genuinely ahead of their era. The Messerschmitt Me-262 jet fighter, for example, represented a dramatic leap in aviation, capable of speeds that conventional Allied fighters struggled to match, and many aviation experts agree that if it had been produced earlier and in greater numbers, it could have complicated Allied air superiority, though not necessarily reversed it. Similarly, the V-2 rocket program introduced the world to long-range ballistic missiles, a technology that would later become central to both space exploration and nuclear deterrence, even as it inflicted indiscriminate destruction on civilian populations. Yet beyond these better-known examples lay a shadow world of projects that were rarely discussed openly, even within Germany's own military hierarchy. Allied intelligence documents and later academic research suggest that German engineers pursued advanced submarine designs, such as the Type 21 U-boat, which featured streamlined hulls and battery systems that allowed it to remain submerged far longer than previous submarines, foreshadowing post-war naval design. There were also reported efforts to develop intercontinental bombers capable of striking North America, an idea that never fully materialized but nonetheless revealed the global ambitions of the regime. Perhaps most disturbing were the experimental weapons that crossed into morally forbidden territory. Researchers have documented attempts to develop new chemical agents and delivery systems, despite international conventions that already recognized such weapons as inhumane. Other projects reportedly explored unconventional concepts like sound-based weapons, high-energy beams, or exotic explosives, though modern experts caution that many of these ideas remained theoretical or were later embellished by rumor and speculation. What distinguishes these programs is not only their technical ambition, but the methods used to pursue them. Evidence from war crimes trials and survivor testimonies shows that forced labor, including prisoners from concentration camps, was often used in weapons research and production, making these technologies inseparable from the crimes of the regime itself. As the Third Reich began to collapse, the secrecy surrounding these weapons intensified. Documents were hidden or destroyed, prototypes were dismantled, and scientists were ordered to remain silent, all in an effort to prevent sensitive knowledge from falling into enemy hands. When Allied forces advanced into Germany, they raced not only to secure territory, but to capture people and information. This scramble culminated in operations such as the widely discussed effort of the United States and its allies to recruit German scientists for their own programs, a move that some officials defended as a necessary step in the emerging Cold War, while critics have since argued it allowed individuals linked to atrocities to escape accountability. For decades after the war, much of what the public believed about Germany's forbidden weapons existed in a haze of secrecy, conspiracy theories, and sensational storytelling. Some narratives portrayed Nazi scientists as being on the verge of building superweapons capable of winning the war, while others dismissed the entire concept as propaganda-fueled fantasy. Modern historical scholarship offers a more balanced picture. Most experts agree that while Germany did achieve remarkable advances in certain areas, these weapons were introduced too late, in too small numbers, and without the industrial support needed to change the outcome of the war. At the same time, historians emphasize that the ethical cost of these programs was immense and that the suffering inflicted in the name of innovation cannot be separated from the technologies themselves. In recent years, renewed interest in declassified archives and scholarly research has brought greater clarity to what was real, what was exaggerated, and what remains uncertain. This ongoing reassessment has also sparked broader conversations about how societies should handle dangerous knowledge, especially when it emerges from immoral or criminal systems. The legacy of Germany's forbidden World War II weapons continues to echo in modern debates about military research, arms control, and the responsibility of scientists working under authoritarian regimes. Ultimately, this story is not just about secret machines hidden in bunkers or blueprints buried in archives. It's a cautionary tale about how fear and ambition can drive nations towards paths that compromise humanity itself. And that is something worth remembering when we consider how technological power is pursued in our own time.